Hi, Scorpio. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and I have a reading for you guys today. This is going to be a I lied. It's a monthly forecast for Scorpio for the month of October. I almost said mid-month check-in. It's a monthly forecast, okay, for October. So, if you have Scorpio anywhere in your chart, maybe you just vibe with Scorpios. You could be a cross watcher. Whatever the case may be, this reading may resonate with you. As always, this is the internet, so take what resonates and leave what does not. If you guys would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through email or form submission on my website. Alrighty. Scorpio, we are doing a Celtic cross for you today. It gives me the widest view of your month ahead, gives us a very in-depth look at what's going on, and just really tells us what we need to know. So, let's get a few more cards out, and then we will get into it. Okay. I'm using one of the, I have like 3 anime decks, so I'm sorry I cannot tell you exactly what this deck is, but it is an anime themed deck. All right, Scorpio, let's dive in. Let's see what's going on. Bottom of the deck is your challenge, represents what you're not seeing, what you're not looking at. We've got the Hermit, the 9 of Wands, the Ace of Wands. Okay, interesting. The Sun is there as well. Okay, Scorpio. So it feels like for a lot of you guys here, your challenge is very similar to the challenge that Pisces dealt with, which is like loss of passion, loss of, it feels like with the Hermit, the 9 of Wands, and the Ace of Wands, you're struggling to maintain some sort of outlook on your own world right now. It feels like you may be looking around and realizing that you're not as happy with things as you thought that you were, or you're not as excited about things as you thought that you were. And so it feels like this challenge for the month of October is like, okay, well, if I've lost my spark, if I've lost the excitement, what do I do? How do I handle that? All right, so let's dive in. So you start off the bat with the Knight of Coins. We are probably talking about career for a lot of you here, but it feels like with the Knight of Coins right off the bat, I think some of you guys are also recognizing that the way that I'm actually hearing this is money doesn't make you happy. And that's very true. We need money to survive. We're existing in capitalism. We need to pay our bills. But I also think some of you are realizing that having an abundance of money, maybe you're working a job where you're making really good money, but you're not happy at it. What's the trade-off, right? I think a lot of you guys here are really... It's like you're getting a victory in this column, but you're not getting a victory in this column, and now you're looking at the columns being like, well, which one would I rather have a victory in? Because your crossing energy here is the Chariot, which is victory. So the crossing in a Celtic cross is either help or hindrance. It feels like this should be a help, Scorpio, but it almost feels like a hindrance. I don't know how else to describe this to you. It feels like you should be happy that there's success here, but it's almost like you're upset about it. It's like the way I'm hearing it, this is kind of funny, is some of you may find, how do I say that? It's like the curse of being important at work. That's how my guides are giving it to me. Some of you may find that maybe, again, at work, you're a very important person. And, again, maybe you're getting really well compensated for it. But it's almost like you feel like you're getting punished for being good at your job. And that's where I feel like I'm hearing resentment as well. That's right. I think the resentment is stemming from. But also it feels like disruption is the word I want to use here. Like you may feel disrupted in your own life right now. or like dysregulated, maybe a better word here. Let's see. Yeah, Seven of Swords. It's like Wheel of Fortune, you're not trusting the people around you. Four of Wands. Yeah. It's, again, it's almost like you could have Pisces in your chart. This was heavy on the Pisces energy, or this is like very heavy with similar themes of the Pisces reading. A commitment's not a prison here, Scorpio. It feels like for some of you guys, you feel stuck because you're like, well, I don't trust the people around me. I don't trust what's going on around me. But with the Wheel of Fortune and the Four of Wands, you're like, well, I'm committed. I might as well stay. Why? You know, I think that this is bringing up a larger issue for you, Scorpio, of the way my guides are giving this to me is like not... It's fear of change. Fear of something being different. Okay? I feel like for a lot of you guys, because the energy I'm picking up on is like, okay, well, you know, clearly you have experience. Clearly you're qualified here. Let's go somewhere else. And your energy is like, well, no, I don't want to do that. Well, why? I think the larger question, Scorpio, you guys need to start asking yourself here is like, as far as your comfortability level goes, are you paying for it? And I don't mean literally. I mean like paying money. Like you're paying peace to be comfortable right now. Like, do you know what I mean here? Like when you pay for something as in like let's say you do harsh manual labor, you pay for it with your body, like struggling. What you're doing here, the comfortability you don't want to walk away from because you don't want to leave it behind. Are you paying for that in some other area, in some other respect? I think you are. I think you're paying for it in the area of lack of happiness, lack of passion, lack of movement, you know, and it feels like, again, we're back to the columns. Okay, I have money, I have success over here, but I don't have happiness and I don't have passion and I don't have anything else. I just have money and success. Is that worth it for you? You know, in your headspace here, you've got the King of Cups. I think this is what you guys are really focused on right now. You know, King of Cups is emotion management. It's emotion, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, handling. You know, can I handle my emotions? Which is another word for management, really. You know, stability, thank you, another good word. And it feels like you guys are really sitting in this place of, am I going to let this rock me? Am I going to let this affect me? The question I have for you, Scorpio, is it already affecting you? I feel like you guys are saying like, well, I'm going to make sure I don't burn out. Babe, you're already burnt out. It's like you're trying to prevent something that's already present from happening. That's what this feels like to me. You know, you're like, well, I need to manage it. I need to manage it. I need to manage it. Are you? Or is it managing you? Yeah, you have death. So here you are showing up. Death is your card, Scorpio. Death of the ego. You've got the Three of Wands. And the Chariot again. I mean, some of you could have Cancer in your chart. Strong Cancer, Cancerian energy here. Which price is steeper, is how I'm hearing it. Which price are you willing to pay? That's what this boils down to. You know, that's what it really comes down to. Are you willing to go out of the comfort zone, to tackle change, to try to better yourself, your quality of life here? Or are you willing to settle for just being unhappy and having an abundance of something else, but being unhappy? That's what this is, Scorpio. You know, I feel like for a lot of you guys here, I think you're almost like you're prioritizing. I think this is also about priorities for you guys, Scorpio. I think you're prioritizing things that are not necessarily like aligning with you really well right now. You know, again, and when I say that, like it comes down to success and money, success and career, you know? Is that worth it? Is that the priority? Because if it is, then okay, keep rocking with it. But if the priority here is where I think it is because of this challenge, I want to be happy again. I want to be content again. I want to be excited about my life again. Are we prioritizing the wrong thing? That's what this feels like to me. Really, that's what it feels like with that Three of Wands. There's just such a lack of movement. There's such a, okay, strong word coming in from my guides. Indignant. Indignation, from what I understand of the word, is like, you tell a child to do something and they just straight up look at you and say no. That's indignation, from what I understand. I could be wrong, but it feels like, Scorpio, that's the kind of energy you're holding here. I feel like there's like defiance issues here for some of you, like, which I understand. Scorpio, I have Scorpio moon in my big three. And so I'm very like stubborn with my emotions, and Scorpio's the most stubborn of the water signs, right? So it feels like some of you guys, it's almost like you don't want to hear it, or you don't want, how do I say this? I'm just going to say it the way my guides are saying it. It's a little bit blunt, but my way is the right way. I think for some of you guys, you're struggling with taking advice from people or changing something up simply because you believe that this is the best way that you can do it. And again, another strong word coming in. I just heard hubris. Pride will really be the downfall for you this month, Scorpio, if you're not careful, okay? Because your physical world is the King of Wands. So again, it feels like some of you guys, King of Wands in the physical world, you're taking stock of everything around you and asking yourself, like, does this ignite a fire for me? Am I excited by it? Am I looking forward to this? And for a lot of you, I don't think you are. I think there's almost just sort of like this feeling here of like, bleh, you know? Three of Swords. Heartbreak and devastation. That's just bleh. Knight of Pentacles. Again, we're prioritizing money over everything else right now. Nine of Cups. Yeah, I think a lot of you guys are just, you're in this cycle of, it's almost like if I'm happy, money will find me, but I'm not willing to wait for that. You know, I always tell my clients, I tell my collectives, you've probably heard me say this before, passion begets money. You know, if you're passionate about something, it translates and people see that. I think for some of you guys here with the Knight of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, because you've lost sight of passion for quite some time, I'm hearing now, that it's like you don't believe it anymore. You know, you're like, well, what's the point of being passionate? Because it's not going to get me anywhere. It's not going to help me at all. Instead, with this Knight of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the Nine of Cups, like, I'll just keep working and being sad and feeling defeated because I don't believe that if I'm passionate about something, the money will follow. There's a lot of focus here on money for you, Scorpio, this month. You know, you're very focused on the success that you've built for yourself, but it's like you're not focused on anything but that. And I think that's the problem here. You know, you're only seeing the one, what is that called? Column, right? Remember how we talked about that in the beginning? You have like the happiness column, and then the money, monetary gain, success at work column, and then the happiness column. You're banking everything on this column, which is like the success at work. You have that column, but this column is suffering. And so now it feels like you're almost allowing the right column to suffer, right? You're allowing that happiness column to suffer because you're like, well, it's just not important to me. But also, I don't believe in it. I don't think it's necessarily that it's not important to you, Scorpio, because I heard those words, but I think that's what you're telling yourself. I think what you're actually feeling is that you just don't trust it. You don't believe in it anymore, which is a larger issue, right? You know, because here in the past you have Page of Wands. I think at one point you did believe in it. I think at one point you were very gung-ho about it. I mean, you have the Hermit here, bottom of the deck. You could have Virgo in your chart. You have the Hermit twice here, you know? So, again, it feels like at one point you did believe it. Like, yes, I will be passionate. I will find money. I will go the way that I want to go here. Two of Swords. But then it's like you didn't see something coming. What is this? There's like a roadblock here or something that tripped you up. King of Swords, Six of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. Some of you could have like a more masculine figure in your life that dissuaded you, is almost what I want to say here. Or like helped you believe that it was like a fluke, or like your success was a one-off, or happiness was a one-off. Yeah, the Two of Swords is here as well. I didn't grab that one. Oops, now you can't see them. You know, Two of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, King of Swords, Six of Wands. Again, it's weird because the King of Swords and the Six of Wands are kind of opposite, right? Because King of Swords is very protective, can be very analytical, very cerebral. And the Six of Wands is victory. But the King of Swords, to me, is kind of standing in your way here, Scorpio. So in the past, it feels like, especially that Ten of Pentacles, that's the family unit as well. Feels like you believed at one point that, you know, what I'm telling you here, passion begets money. Like, I need to be passionate in order to be successful. And then for some reason here, you had someone step in and I almost feel like convince you that it didn't matter. That they, you know, it's just sort of that, no, you just have to make money. That's it. That's all that counts. Money, 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 money. And it feels like that's what you then followed. You know, for a lot of you, this is probably when you were a child or like some sort of adolescent. And so as a result, you went into adolescence, adulthood with this idea of like, well, it doesn't matter because I just have to chase the money. But now, you know, with your near future being the Knight of Cups in the reverse, I think you're dealing with a very strong repercussion here. You know, you're dealing with the reality of I'm not emotionally invested in anything. I'm not emotionally happy right now. I'm not emotionally content, you know, and I'm not invested. And that is taking a toll. I mean, that's what we've been talking about this whole reading. You know, lack of emotional contentment here. Yeah, Page of Wands. Can I get one more? Thank you. The Moon. Yeah, you're afraid. Three of Pentacles. It's all born of fear, Scorpio. Everything here is fear. Everything you are dealing with right now is fear. Fear that it won't work out. Fear that it's not good enough. Fear that you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not strong enough. You're not passionate enough. All of this is fear. And it comes from the inner child. Page of Wands. You know, I almost feel like some of you guys need to start getting more in touch with your inner child and chasing what that child wants you to chase. Okay? There's this feeling here of the way my guides are saying this to me is if you didn't judge yourself for wanting it, what would you want right now? What would you go after? And I think that is a really important question for you this month. If you didn't judge your inner child, and if you didn't judge everything, what would you want? If you took that lens of judgment away at which you're looking at everything, what would you want? I also just start, how would you want it? You know, I feel like Scorpio at the core of this reading, I'm going to be really brutal right now. You've forgotten yourself. You've forgotten who you are. Why you went into the things you went into. Where your passions lie. You've lost sight of not only yourself, but your goals. And this, to me, October is a month where you're gonna be getting back into focus of what you want, who you are, what's next for you. That is what October is about here. It's no longer, I said that weird. It's no longer about the grind, making the money, being as successful as possible in the shortest amount of time. It is simply just, how do I get to know myself better? How can I reconnect with myself? How can I move forward without judging myself? That's what this month is about for you. Because even in your view, your self-image right now, it's the Four of Pentacles. You're playing it very close to the wire with money. You've got a tight coin purse right now. You know, but it also feels like with the Devil at the bottom of this deck, you're also not willing to, again, Scorpio, I'm sorry to keep slamming you with this, but it keeps coming through. You're not willing to listen, is how I'm hearing it. You know, you're not seeing the larger picture here. You're only choosing to see the Four Pentacles that you're sitting on right now. You're only seeing that microcosm instead of the larger picture. I almost just dropped all of those. Did you see that? That's crazy. Maybe that's how you feel right now, Scorpio. That's never happened to me before. Wow. Okay. Let's give them a shuffle. Let's get that energy out of here. You may feel like you are ready to drop literally everything right now. Let's see. The deck I'm also using today, I forgot to tell you guys, this is the Avisomnia Tarot. It translates to Bird's Dreams. Yeah, you've got the Strength card, the Queen of Swords, and the Emperor. It's like you're just standing in your own way. You know, with the Queen of Swords and the Emperor, some of you may be looking into managerial positions, positions where you're working for yourself, starting your own business, what it may be. But with that Queen of Swords and the Strength card, again, it feels like you are your own worst enemy right now, Scorpio. You are really the one standing in front of you telling yourself that you can't do it. A lot of people think, this is what my guys want me to talk about. A lot of us think that if we think of Fat Amy from Pitch Perfect, if we self-degrade first, if I hurt my own feelings first, and then someone else says something to me, and it doesn't, it's like we think it'll hurt less if we do it to ourselves first. Wrong. Wrong. It hurts more, babe. Okay? You are hurting your own feelings so often that you're not realizing that it hurts more than if someone else were to say to you, hey, you're not going to be successful. It hurts worse. Okay? With the Strength and the Queen of Swords, I feel like you have to have the strength to stand in front of yourself and be like, hey, we're not going to talk like that to us. We're not going to disrespect ourselves like that. We're not going to say these things, okay? Because that's what you need right now. You need to hold yourself in check. You need to make sure you're not self-degrading. You're not tearing yourself to pieces. Because how's that helping you? Exactly, it's not. You know, your superpower right now, or your supporting energies, is the Ten of Wands. I think more so for you, Scorpio, this is just an acknowledgement of you've saddled yourself with such a heavy burden, with such a large backpack here, that it's almost like you can't even think about what it would be like to not have it, you know? But it's showing up as your superpower, which means that you're probably very close to getting rid of it. You may be afraid to not have it, but you might know that you need to not have it. Thank you. One more, please. Yeah, Ace of Wands, Two of Cups, and the Page of Swords. Like, it's coming back together with yourself here. You know, Ace of Wands, Two of Cups, Page of Swords. It's coming home to yourself, Scorpio. It's remembering who you are. Like I said, we've forgotten, but now we're remembering. Now we're coming back to where we started. Two of Cups is being balanced within yourself here, okay? Ace of Wands is passion, and that Page of Swords is like, okay, well, what's next for me? What's out there? Page of Swords is curiosity. What have I been missing out on? What have I not been allowing myself to partake in? Okay? I think that this is showing up as your superpower because once you let go of this heavy burden, once you let go of the backpack that's too heavy, that's been holding you back here, you're going to realize just how light you actually are, just how fast it is to move forward from here, okay? This is kind of like, this is going to be a really specific example for someone. I don't know why. If you watched Naruto growing up, it's the episode where Rock Lee takes his leg weights off. That's what my guides want me to say. That's what this is for you. You know, you're letting go of this gigantic backpack full of really heavy shit that you've been carrying around for so long. And that is going to propel you forward so much faster because you're going to lose that extra weight. You're going to lose all of that extra stuff that's attached to you. You know, your hope is temperance. I do feel like you will come back into balance here, Scorpio. Oh, don't mind, my cat is in the room. I just saw him move. I was like, what is that? You know, temperance is about balance. It's also about patience. I think some of you guys have had a lot of patience, but now it's time to get back into a place of balance for yourself. Judgment, period. Ten of Wands, again, like I said, I think a lot of you guys are recognizing here, oh shit, been holding myself back. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem, it's me. Temperance. I mean, I can't make it up. Temperance on temperance. With Judgment and the Ten of Wands. Scorpio, at the core of this reading is the decision, the cognitive choice to let go of the burden, to let go of what's been holding you back. And maybe for a lot of you, it's that self-limiting belief. It's that belief that the only thing that measures my success is how much money I'm making. How successful at work am I? That's it. That's for you. For a lot of you, that's your scale for this. But I think the more important scale for you here is, how excited am I? Am I passionate? Or am I just showing up to get a paycheck? Have you guys ever had, how do I say this? I'm fumbling over my words. Have you ever been to a reader? Let's say a tarot reader, for instance. We'll use me as an example. I'm sure you guys have gone to readers that did not like what they did. Not passionate about it. And then you go to a reader who is passionate. The difference is so night and day. And the reader who is passionate is more seen than the reader who is not. Okay? It's the same thing with every profession. Think nail artistry. Think hairdressing. Think artists in general. If you are passionate, it shows and it brings people to you. Same thing with this, Scorpio, with whatever this is that we're talking about here. Maybe you're creative yourself. Okay? Coming back to that passion and learning how to reignite that flame is what will set you free here. Yeah, because your outcome is the King of Coins and the Page of Swords. Your outcome is just quite literally, what can I do differently? You know, I want to be successful, but I don't want to be stuck here. So what does that mean to me? What's the next move then? I think this is a ponder moment. This is a sit in the woods and ponder, Scorpio. You have to think. Like, and I'm trying to figure out how to say this, because I want to say you have to think, like, for yourself, but not like, you know when we say, oh, think for yourself, as in, like, don't listen to other people? I mean, think for yourself literally. Like, think about what you want. What would make you feel successful? What are you passionate about? Because you have the answer to all of that. I don't. I'm just a tarot reader on the internet. You know? Like, I can't tell you what you're passionate about. Only you can. Yeah, Six of Cups. For a lot of you guys, it's going to come back to childhood. You know? King of Wands. What are you passionate about? What are you excited about? Can I get one more, please? Yeah. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. Bottom of the deck, 9 of Wands. Yeah, I think you guys are just wounded. You're hurt. It came from someone. You got to heal that. 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, and the King of Wands. The reason you're not passionate about your passions anymore is because you were abandoned about them. As a child, you said to people, hey, I'm passionate about this. And everyone said, we don't care. And then guess what, Scorpio? You grew up and you saw what you were passionate about and you ignored it. And you essentially told yourself again, well, I don't care. That's what we did here. We hurt our own feelings. Okay? In order to overcome this, we have to go back. We have to start finding the passion and returning to a place of excitement and not a place of the wounded idea of the only thing that makes me successful is how much money I'm making. Okay? Because we know that's not true. All right, let's get you some Oracle cards. I am just cleaning up my decks really quick. I'm just trying to stay organized, stay on top of it. Nothing worse than finishing a whole reading and I can't even reach my own keyboard because I have cards strewn all over my desk. I've learned my lesson and we're moving on. Okay. I switched up the Oracle deck today because I was called to. The deck we are using is the Oracle of Healing Waters by Rebecca Campbell. Fabulous, fabulous deck. All of her decks are really beautiful, but let's get into it. What is Scorpio? What's the advice for Scorpio for the month of October, please? What's the advice for Scorpio, please? Oh, we're being picky. We're being slow today. Thank you. First one and second one. That was fast. I just need one more. We're going to take 3 of these, Scorpio. Thank you. Perfect. All right. We've got making waves. Momentum is building. It's your time. Achievement. Now is the time, Scorpio. The only time that matters is the present. Immerse yourself. Training, learning, new hobbies, passions. There's that buzzword. You can't really see it, but it's over there. Passions. What are we passionate about? And cleansing. Releasing the old. Energetic tune-up. New beginnings. Scorpio, we're on the nose today. All of these cards are directly in your face on the nose. Bottom of the deck is gentle force, consistency, persistence, patience, and the long game. It does not change overnight, Scorpio. We know that. We all know that. Okay? You don't go to the gym one time and lose 20 pounds. Okay? Keep going at it. Consistency. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But you gotta start somewhere. We all have to. Start deconstructing it now. Start going back in time, giving yourself the gift of being passionate again. Okay? Scorpio, that is your monthly forecast. That is what I have for you guys. I hope this was helpful. Oh, I'm eating my own beard. If this reading resonates with you or my reading style resonates with you, I would really appreciate if you considered leaving a like and subscribing. We are on the road to 200 subscribers. I stumbled over that twice today. If you guys would like to interact with me on a live basis, I do go live 3 days a week on Twitch. You can find me Wednesday and Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST, as well as Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. EST. And I also do have a Discord server if you would like to join that. It is where all my updates can be found about stream, where I update it when I have to miss stream or move stream, things like that. And it's just a wonderful group of people. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. I will get that link to you or stop by on one of the streams. The mods are always posting the clients. So Scorpio, I leave you with this. I hope you guys have a fabulous day, afternoon, morning, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you guys in the next video. Okay? Bye.